Live. Try to get this air going a little bit better here. We got another one of them humid, hot days today. Had a kind of a rough week this week. So this will be the, I think, second or third time I've actually been down here this week. I got a pile of logs up on the landing I got to bring down. And I think I got about 90% of the wood cut and split yesterday in here. I have a couple ash trees that were just a little bit too big for the processor, so, but not too bad for the numbers. Only two that I kind of overestimated, which if I would have cut the butt off, the butt swell, it would have fit in the processor, but it wasn't worth the time. I just rolled it off and kept her trucking. So I know we're kind of a little bit later today. It's been one of them Sundays. We went shopping after church, got all that stuff done, and then I sat down and had myself a little bite to eat. I made some garlic and onion leek hamburgers yesterday. Ended up grinding them up. I usually like to put a little bit of cheese and jalapenos, and I've got a little grinder, and I'll grind them up, make it kind of like a minced onion type of deal with the jalapenos and everything, and then I throw that in my hamburgers, and I make smash burgers out on the Blackstone. But we didn't have any jalapenos, so we got some of them today. And I ended up I started pickling leeks. I got some leeks from probably a good 10 pounds of leeks there early spring. So I pickled some of them up, and I tried that. And with the wife being pregnant, apparently leeks is one of them things that she just cannot stomach the smell of. So I had to eat them up when I got home. Now I'm feeling a little bit drowsy, so I've got the old Black Rifle coffee. I don't know what the heck it is, espresso something. We ended up getting it at Ollie's. I bought, I think, 10 cases of them. I think they're like $4. And they still had a good month on them, so they're pretty good. I brought a couple of them with me. But salted caramel. So yeah, this week was rough. Ended up burning through just about all of my money that I've been saving on the dump truck. Had the rear brakes completely went out on it. I ended up wanting to fix the wheel cylinders. They were leaking about a gallon a week brake fluid. So every time I got in it, I top it off, and so I ordered the parts and took the truck apart, and they were the wrong parts. The wrong seals. I've got a heavier rear end underneath that truck than the F600s came with, apparently. So back in the 70s, 80s, probably even 60s, I don't know. But the trucks were spec'd differently. They were almost like kind of like when a farmer buys a tractor. You don't go out to a John Deere dealer and see 10, 20 8Rs or 9Rs sitting on the property. Generally, that type of thing is bought, ordered, and then it comes in, because every farmer has their own little way of doing it. Well, these trucks, it seems like that's kind of the way. I went out and looked at another one for a headlight bezel, because mine's all screwed up, and that truck was set up differently than my dump truck is, just because that one was set up for putting tar down on the road, so it had a compressor on it and all that. But the rear end didn't have the split rims on it, and the rims on the front were it was different. So we ended up learning a little bit. It was a little bit harder to get the parts without bringing them down to Napa and having them try to match it up and blah blah blah. So we're waiting. We're about a week out on a part that should have been there in 2 days. So my truck is been down since Tuesday of last week. So it's been kind of a little bit rough. So not being able to move firewood, I was able to get 2 loads out before it went catastrophic. Then I just brought it over to a buddy's garage and we tore into it. Found that about 90% of what was going on with the truck, because I really, and it's scary sounding, and it is scary for anybody out there on the road. You know, you just don't know vehicles, but 90% of my braking was coming from the passenger side right tire. And when you full squirted the brakes to the floor, it would lock up all the tires. But anytime I was coming downhill or anything else, that front passenger side disc and rotor would be just about cherry red. So I kind of knew, well, I knew I had problems. Nonetheless, before anything happened, we brought it in and found out that the wheel cylinders on both left and right rear axles were completely rust jacked into one piece of, you know, we threw the heat to it. We put the PB, the WD-40, the this, the that. We ended up getting one broke free with a punch, vice grips, and you know, the whole 9 yards. But it scored the piston, scored the barrel, scored everything. So ended up being $500 a side for the wheel cylinders on the front, which is the service side. The back is another $400 a side, which that is a service brake / parking brake, and that was the only piece that was actually working to push the pads out. So when I slammed on the brakes, it was only braking with them parking brake cylinders that also have a service side to them. So that it's good to find out that, hey, brakes are going to be a heck of a lot better now. It's just like we were talking about there 2 weeks ago, trying to have, you know, $10,000 to $15,000 before winter comes. That way I can ride out this winter, just keep getting wood in here and splitting it up, getting it all ready for next season. You know, basically the same thing that we did last year. But this is this is bleeding it down. We're down into the red zone in the business account. We'll say we're about 1,500 from 5-6 grand there 2 weeks ago. So it stinks, but we're gonna have a truck in the end that will hopefully stop on a dime and leave 9 cents change, eh? RC fan, what's up? Or RC fun. I always do that. I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good. Then we got I don't know how to pronounce that. Hambrizzi? Maybe? Hambrizzi? What's up? Nice to have you. We do a Sunday live, kind of a recap day every Sunday. We're about a week behind on content, which is, like I said, everything that you guys see kind of this week was last week. I have a whole lot more content from last week, but I couldn't put it into video form without it being kind of like pass-through stuff or just B-roll. And the videos, the 2 videos that I put up were like 4 hours long, so I had to kind of try to squish that all into a 20-30 minute video. So I apologize if it didn't turn out great. Is the weather nice this time? It is freaking, it's great. It's wonderful weather. The humidity sucks. that's the killer. You know, right now my truck's saying 84 degrees, which is great. But then as soon as you get out, if the heat the humidity makes everything hard to breathe. It makes it, you know, it's nice though. It is nice. It's just one of them ones that you can be sitting down drinking a cold water and just have the sweat rolling off you, you know. But we'll leave this thing going. I'll give you a quick walk around. I did do a processing video this week. I know that that's probably old for a lot of us, but it is a part of the business, right? And I do have the tractor down here now. The tractor is down here for a little while. So we did a little service on it all. But yeah, no, it's everything's good here. The weather's been cooperating. You can see the chains are all nice and lubed up. I got all that done yesterday. Everything greased up. I scooped out all the trash. I gotta get the bottles out of here, but scooped out all the trash yesterday, and it's been drier. But that's what I did yesterday. That was about maybe an hour and a half. It wasn't much. Probably a half hour of handling logs. That's about the longest process to this now. The handling the logs until I get a grapple. Just because the logs are different size, you know, it all depends on what the log gives you. But like basically 8 foot to 14 foot fits in the truck good. But when you go to slap that down, if you get an 8 footer, that's, you know, these actually look good as far as the butts. You can kind of see. But if you get one that's way out here, and then you get this guy that's back here a little bit, you got to try to scoop into that, and it just falls off to the side, you know, that type of thing. But the pile, and you can see where the tracks basically are dipped in. The pile was out about here, probably about 8 foot tall yesterday. So we got all that worked up. Got a whole pile of chips and everything else. So I think I've come to the conclusion that these bins are going to be single time use bins. I had my son and we had a delivery Monday or Tuesday before the truck went down. And let me see, I had this wall blow out as we were getting it all out of the bin here. So I think what I'll do, because this wood's been in here for about 5 to 7 months now. That wood over there longer, probably 7 to 8 months now, and it's good. I mean, you can, I don't know if I can kind of hear, you know, it's all dry. I did have a couple pieces down here that had fallen through the pallet that were heavier, so I threw them over here because they kind of thudded a little bit. You could see the gaps, the holes that kind of formed, and then pieces that were touching the ground, they were on the heavier side. So I tried to make sure that none of that stuff went. Not that there's not another 5 to 6 months of drying left. And that's why, like I said, I'm pulling from this guy. This is going to be my premium, I guess. It's going to be maybe start coming out of here November. Hopefully before that. Actually, I'd like to have all this out of here by November, to be honest with you. But this stuff was all split back in January, February. I mean, that's all on video as far as that. But I think we last put wood in here back in March or April. So, and a lot of that stuff, all the wood that had been put in both of these for the majority was cut last year. This was all the stuff that we had logged off the property. So then I did go down to Lowe's and Napa when I was ordering parts, and we did grab a dump truck load of pallets. The last thing the truck actually moved. So I've got a pile of pallets here, which is awesome. And we'll be adding on to this next bin. And like I said, we actually have not had a rain. You guys can kind of see. We have not had a rain since I put this in here. I mean, all this Duffy chips and everything else, that would have all been washed away. So whatever that was, a week, 2 weeks, we haven't had a rain good enough to actually wash this. And that's why I put this the way it was. Because this was all the stuff on the bottom of that, on the bottom of the bunker. Let me see. I'll be walking around with a friend a little, so I may be home for a while. Okay, bud. Hey, there's one of my freaking bungees. Old Tire Popper 9000. Let's get that somewhere that I'm not gonna run it over. Put it with the chains. Now I just gotta find the other half of it. That would be handy. I don't need that going through a freaking tractor tire. Dump truck's one thing, but tractor's a little bit more expensive. I did just order some choker chains, but yeah, I mean, you guys can see, you know, one extreme to the next. Here we are making dust on the wettest part of the property. You know, this, I mean, clearly you can see how the ground is, but now it's just dusty. Where a week ago we were sitting in a foot of water in here. So I'm gonna go up and grab some more clay. I get the dump truck back rolling. I want to put more clay in here, this corner here, and then this whole deal. I'd love to go right up it, but it's not too horrible generally. What else is going on? Chain. Yesterday I did 4 tables, so this is six complete tables on this bar and chain. This is brand new bar. I think we did a video on installing the new bar. I actually broke one of the studs on there, so I replaced that, put a new bar and chain on it. This is the original VersaCut, but she needs to be filed pretty bad. You can see that's a Husqvarna bar, so I ended up having to cut the back off in order to get this to fit on this processor, because it fits a steel. This is a steel 81 driver link bar. Sprayed all that. This system's working great. It's blowing it all right where I want it. I think I might lower it one more course, but to be honest, I don't know how long this wall's gonna do. With a new tractor, it's kind of devastating to it. As you can see, I can move the whole thing now, so just getting the tractor in here is being a little rough to it. So, but the tractor's down here. Mr. Dan, we got the big girl down here. This week I would love, I don't know, all depends on the weather, cooperation, and everything else, but I'd love to get the roof on here, get my grinder in here, my tables, and then get you know, $500–600 worth of hydraulic fluid and filters and all that other stuff in somewhere under lock and key, versus just out for the public. But just one of them things. That, and I do have my first job that a person wants. Yeah, on the new brush hog. Well, it's not new to me brush hog for the tractor. I do have some brush hogging I got to get done. So I've got to get that fixed up, mounted on the tractor. I got to get I think I got to get a PTO for it, but we'll try it. I'm just worried that I'm worried that it's not gonna have a trip on it. It doesn't have a clutch or nothing on it. It's just a straight shaft. So if I have to, I'll try to see if I can't get a shear pin in it, which I do have. I got a bag of them in my door. You got some nice wood there. Yeah. She's coming. You can actually see right now, and this is kind of, I mean, it may sound stupid to a lot of y'all, but let me see. Kind of see how nice and bright that wood is, right? That right there's nice and bright. You look over here, it's right in the shade. So I've got to fix that with this one. These two are nice and bright, full sun, better part of the day. But that one doesn't get any after 2-3 o'clock. Once the sun gets overhead too far, it you know, it gets into these trees, it's gonna lose it. Where them got it for another 2-3 hours, right? So, Mr. Dan, you feeling any better, Bubba? You getting your feet back underneath you? Get some more inventory. I'll put that thing up. Ooh, I got another one here. Oh, that one's rough. Okay. Did he hop in and hop out? Showing me his new excavator there. That's one thing that I would love to get is an excavator. I don't know what I'd do with it, but I know this place would look a lot different. Even for a week. I got an excavator in here. All these freaking... I got a... I just found a buddy that wants popple. Wants all the popple he can get. So, I've got maybe 2-3 truckloads in the woods already that was going to just sit there and rot. And I've got a whole pile of popple here that's standing. Quite a few of them right over the top of the processor that I want to get out. He was saying he was paying $200, $300 for, I got saw chip in my chew. $200-300 for a truckload. So I think I'm gonna go down and tell him give me $100, $150 a truckload, and send him some wood. Freight that thing and get this crap out of here. That's really what needs to happen, because we got a lot of dead dangerous popples, that's for sure. Let's see what's going on here. Two, one. I wonder if it's a service. Oh, that ain't no good. Let me see if that pops back up. see. We got some low view numbers here. I think it might be server related again. Sometimes when I'm sitting there, it's good. Sometimes when I'm sitting there, it's bad. Oh, froggy buddy. So let me get the lawn chair out and see what we can't do here. Nice enough day. Just humid. All right. Let's see if we can't make this do. We know if the service is a little better here. It says I've got full bars, but the live stream keeps dropping on me. Let's see. Moderator, try, okay. There we go. All right, so is that any better? And the old firewood mountain is has shrunk quite a bit here. No, don't do that. What the heck are you doing? I wanted to see participants, see if Dan was still in here. Like now it's too washed out. Well, we'll keep running. We got a little, I don't know if this is still working or not, but we'll keep it running for another little bit. See if we can't get some more chat in here. But all of a sudden she died on me, and I'm not sure if it's the service or what it is. But yeah, so we got the burn pit just about to that stage where we can start lighting them off again. I got everything pushed kind of up this way. Got everything cleaned out from that back row. But like I was saying, we got popples here, 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 and we got a big one up here. So once we start popping them popples back out, we should get a lot more air, a lot more light, and hopefully get a little bit more sun rays on these piles. But I just have a sneaking suspicion that you guys are off now. It feels awfully weird talking to yourself. So 414. Yeah, let me see. We can get some poll numbers. That'll let me know, because I can't even see the viewer count. I see 3 likes, but nothing at the viewer count. So I'm kind of wondering if it's still going or not. So we'll give it a minute or two and see if anything changes with the votes. Because I just want to know if I need to restart this or how it goes here. I think we lost it. Give it another minute, and if it is, there's really not much to go over. Like I said, the truck is down, so we're at a stalemate with wood. I can only work the wood that I have here. I can keep logging up there, keep dropping trees, but I get to the point where I've got so many trees down and bucked up that I've got to either move them or start moving them with the tractor somewhere else. And I just don't want to be, anytime you touch the firewood, anytime you touch poles in general, it's money lost. So I try to do as little movement of the wood as possible. Hopefully that makes sense. But like I said, for anybody watching this after the stream, obviously is not live anymore. Kind of keep you guys in the loop, but for some reason I don't know. There's no polls. There's no numbers coming in. No nothing. I don't know what's going on. If I must have dropped service. But for those that are in here or have been in here, God bless you all, and we'll try to get next week's stream a little bit better. I don't know if just the service is screwed up here or not, but either way, God bless you. We'll see you next time.